students, class 11. So in thermodynamics my last topic is left, that is Gibbs energy, Gibbs free energy or Gibbs energy. In the previous video I talked about enthalpy, entropy and relation of enthalpy and entropy with the spontaneity of a reaction. Again I want to recall what do you mean by spontaneous reaction or what is spontaneity. The reaction which proceeds once it has been started by itself without any external energy or without the help of any external energy, that is called your spontaneous reaction. So how del H and del S, that is enthalpy and entropy related with the spontaneity of a reaction, I told you earlier. But it has been found that every time that criteria doesn't work good. We know that when entropy is greater than 0, then it is in most of the cases it is spontaneous reaction. But there are some cases where entropy is less than 0, but then also it is spontaneous. So we cannot say that only entropy or enthalpy can be the criteria for spontaneity of a reaction. So for this reason, a new thermodynamic term came into existence, that is known as Gibbs energy and denoted by the letter G. It is known as Gibbs energy and it is denoted by the letter G. What is its specific function? Actually, Gibbs energy G is equal to H minus Ts. H is enthalpy, T is temperature and S is entropy. So G equal to H minus Ts. G itself is an extensive property and it is a state function. That means does not depend upon the path. It is a state function. Okay. Now, in general, while studying or calculating the relation with thermodynamics, it has been found that only the G, that is Gibbs energy, is difficult to calculate. So Gibbs energy directly cannot be related with the spontaneity. Change in Gibbs energy can be related with the spontaneity. So change in Gibbs energy can be written as delta G, as you have learned earlier what is the significance of this sign and what is this. So delta G equal to, if I take delta of these two numbers, so what I am going to get, delta G equal to delta H minus T delta S minus S delta T, because this one is T into S. So once I have to take delta S and next time I have to take delta T. At constant temperature, I know the value of delta T is 0, that is change in temperature is 0. So if change in temperature is 0, so my equation is changing into delta G equal to delta H minus T delta S. This term is removed. And mostly all the reactions we generally do at constant temperature. So this term we are going to take. So here you can find both delta H is there and delta S is there. So we can relate the spontaneity by comparison with both these terms. How it can be related with spontaneity, that I am going to explain now. Okay, this equation you have to remember. After that, we know that delta S total equal to delta S of the system plus delta S of surrounding. This thing we know. Now, if the reaction or the system is occurring at constant temperature and it is in equilibrium, it is in thermal equilibrium, in that case, what is happening? In that case, delta S of surrounding, that can be related with the enthalpy of the system also. That is, if the change increase in the enthalpy of the surrounding, whatever may be the value, will be same as decrease in the enthalpy of the system. If enthalpy of the surrounding is increasing at equilibrium, the amount of increase in the enthalpy of surrounding will be equal to the amount of decrease in the enthalpy of the system. So that can be written as delta S surrounding equal to, we know that delta S is what? Delta S is delta H by T. So So this is equal to delta H of surrounding by T. So it can also be written as minus of delta H system by T. This minus sign means whatever may be the increase in enthalpy of surrounding, same amount will be decrease in the amount of system. So this can be written. Now in this equation, if I put the value of delta S surrounding as this one, so the equation will change as what? It will change as delta S total equal to delta S system minus of delta H system by T. Okay, this is the equation. Now, if I multiply T with the whole equation, then what is the equation going to stand for? If I multiply T with everyone, then T delta S total, that is equal to T delta S system, and this one will be, T will be cancelled, so only left delta H system. Okay, this is the equation. Now we know that for a spontaneous reaction or a spontaneous change, delta S total should be greater than 0. For spontaneity, delta S total, it is always greater than 0. So if it is always greater than 0, that means this portion is also greater than 0. If this is greater than 0, so this is also greater than 0. So it implies that T delta S system, SYS, T delta S system minus delta H system, it is greater than 0. Okay, this is the reaction going on. Now come to this equation. What is the value of delta G? Delta G is delta H minus T delta S, and what is given here? T delta S minus delta H. Just reverse of this. Here delta H minus T delta S, and here T delta S minus H. So if this equation is greater than 0, then if I put minus sign before and bring delta H beforehand, that should also be greater than 0. So I can write minus of delta H system minus T delta S system, it should be greater than 0 for the spontaneity of a reaction. Okay, this is my final assumption. What is this? This is delta G. So I can write minus of delta G should be greater than 0 for spontaneity of a reaction. It can be changed as, to remove this minus sign, I can write delta G is less than 0 for the spontaneity of a reaction. So this is my last condition, and I came to a conclusion after this equation that for a reaction to be spontaneous, for a change to be spontaneous, delta G must be 0. If delta G is less than 0, the reaction is spontaneous. If it is more than 0, then it is non-spontaneous. This derivation you have to know. This derivation you have to write, that how can you prove that delta G is less than 0? Specify the spontaneity of a reaction. So this is all about relationship with the Gibbs, this is called Gibbs free energy, delta G. So relationship between Gibbs free energy and spontaneity of a reaction, that I have told and I have explained to you. Okay, next I am going to say you about second law of thermodynamics and third law of thermodynamics. Now I am going to discuss about the statement that is there in second law of thermodynamics and first law of thermodynamics. You already learned about first law of thermodynamics. Second law of thermodynamics is nothing but it is related with entropy, that is in an exothermic reaction, delta S is greater than 0, that means positive value means it is spontaneous. That is only called second law of thermodynamics. Whenever the value of delta S is greater than 0 in an exothermic reaction, that is spontaneous. So in statement, in exothermic reaction, heat released by the reaction increases the disorder of the surrounding and the overall entropy change is positive, which makes the reaction spontaneous. That is only explained that as it is exothermic, so heat released is making the system or the overall surrounding, there will be change in the entropy and that will be in the positive direction, and that will make the system spontaneous or that will make the reaction spontaneous. That is, it will proceed automatically in the forward direction. Now third law of thermodynamics, what it states? Entropy of any pure crystalline substance approaches 0 as the temperature approaches absolute 0. What is absolute 0? 0 Kelvin is known as absolute 0. We know that movement of particle can be seen maximum in gaseous substance, little bit movement can be seen in liquid substance also, but movement is generally very less in case of solid substance. The molecules only vibrate. So in solid substance, definitely the entropy, that is the randomness of the molecule, will be very less. And in crystalline substance, the entropy of the substance approaches to 0, that is randomness approaches to 0 if the temperature approaches to absolute 0. When the temperature is near to 0 Kelvin, then the entropy of the crystalline substance also approaches to 0. This is all about third law of thermodynamics. Okay. I am going to discuss about Gibbs energy and equilibrium. How Gibbs energy is related with equilibrium. Equilibrium means in a reversible reaction, equilibrium can be attained. Equilibrium means in a reversible reaction, position is attained or reaction is going to attain a particular time when rate of forward reaction should be equal to rate of backward reaction. That is called equilibrium. That is, the product formation and reactant consumed should be same, and that is equilibrium. And how Gibbs energy can be related with equilibrium, that equation you have to know. Okay. So Gibbs energy change and equilibrium. At equilibrium, what happened? At equilibrium, the free energy of a system, free energy means delta G, that is called free energy. Free energy of a system is minimum. At equilibrium, free energy of the system is minimum. If it is not minimum, then the system would spontaneously change to configuration of lower free energy. If it is not minimum, the reaction will proceed in such a way, it will move in such a way, it will change automatically in such a way that the free energy can become minimum. That is the main rule. Okay, so how it can be related mathematically? In case of standard free energy change, we write this formula, that is delta G 0. With equilibrium, mathematically it can be connected using this formula, that is free energy change plus RT ln K, where K is your equilibrium constant. K is equilibrium constant, R you know gas constant, T is temperature. So 0 equal to delta G standard plus RT ln K. This is the form of log only. It can be changed into log base 10 by multiplying with 2.303. That already you know. So from this equation I can write delta G standard equal to minus RT ln K. Okay. Now I am changing this into log base 10. So it will be log. I have written wrong. So delta G standard equal to minus 2.303 RT log K. Instead of ln, I am writing log K. So this is the relationship between free energy change and equilibrium constant. So this is the final equation that you have to remember. Again we know that delta G equal to delta H minus T del S. So the whole equation can be written as delta G equal to delta H minus T del S, that is equal to minus RT LFK. This equation you have to remember. In your NCERT book, certain sums are there, numericals are there, which are based on these equations. Although it is very difficult to find out the value of log, but certain value of log, log 2, log 3, log 5, these values you have to remember for doing other numericals also. So by this I hope the chapter is completed, and you can go through the previous video also if you have any difficulty, and in this video you can find out the relationship between delta G and spontaneity. Okay, so thank you very much.